You're too pure for this wicked world. You're
Hi there, welcome back to Hot Kitchen, where we're showing you how to turn up the heat in your kitchen by cooking easy romantic meals at home. Tonight I'll be showing you how to whip up London broil with zesty remoulade and roasted Pablano hash. The first step to this delectable dinner is to get your London broil all loved up and ready for the grill. So sprinkle it with the dry ingredients of black pepper and dried basil, and rub it on the meat while it's still dry to make sure it really sticks. It's also super helpful to stab the roast several times so that the marinade can work its way in and seep all the way into the middle, and infusing it with flavor and tenderizing it as it goes. Now the London broil is an interesting cut of meat, and it lends itself very well to the grill or the broiler. Pour red wine over it, and flip it over just to make sure that wine has found its way into every surface of that meat. Let it marinate for about 30 minutes to allow the flavors to penetrate and the meat to tenderize. All right, get my grill warmed up. And now it's time to love up the secret ingredient of the hash, the roasted Pablano pepper. See, you can do it by grilling it, you can cook it with an open flame, or you can broil it. I recommend this step be done without adding fat or flavor. Just let the heat work on the flavor of the pepper and do its magic. So see how the skin is getting roasty and coming loose from the flesh, cracking? That's exactly what you want to see. Make sure that you rotate the pepper as it cooks so that you get a nice, evenly roasted result. So I can see that my pepper is thoroughly roasted. Almost all of the skin is cracked and it's laying pretty flat on the grill. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off the grill and put it in a little bag. Let it cool down for a few minutes. There we go. This will help to make sure that skin comes off nice and easily. And now with the star of the Pablano hash all cooled down, you can go ahead and start peeling the skin off of it. See how easily it releases? Beautiful. Just try to get off the big chunks. You don't have to worry about getting every little section of skin. Then once you have most of the skin off, you can go ahead and start cutting it up. Begin by taking off the top and pulling out the core. Open it up and scrape out the seeds. Seeds add a lot of extra heat and a little bit of bitterness. Now slice it into long, thin strips. And then slide those all together and slice across that for nice little chunks. Beautiful. So now ready to go over to the saute pan and get mixed up in the hash. I'm going to add olive oil to my nice hot saute pan. To that I'm going to add the onions and the peppers and the garlic. Now the whole point of this is just to infuse the olive oil with the flavor of the peppers and the onions and the garlic. You don't necessarily need to cook them at this point, but do wait until you start to see the vegetables soften before you add the potatoes. Great, these are starting to soften up nicely. The oil is now completely infused with the flavor of the Pablano. And go ahead and add the potatoes. Touch more of olive oil. And I'm going to toss it and season as I go here. I'm going to keep the seasonings really simple. Just a little seasoning salt and a little fresh cracked pepper. Also going to add about a tablespoon of butter to help it brown. And a little bit of parsley to sort of round it out. All right, probably have about 10 minutes here to take a little break and go enjoy yourself. These are looking great. We can move on to the vegetables now. To a nice hot saute pan, I will add olive oil. To that I will add broccoli and onions and mushrooms. A little bit of garlic salt. I just love the way that the broccoli's delicate texture plays off the robust flavors and texture of the London broil. Give these a little toss here. Go ahead and add about a tablespoon of water and quickly put a lid on it. And this kind of steams the broccoli as it sits in the pan for a few minutes. Now I'm going to turn on the grill, and it's time to put the meat on the grill. So give it one more turn just to make sure it's completely saturated. Set it on the grill on the very hottest part. It's going to need to cook for about 6 minutes on each side if it's nice and thick like this. So now it's time to cook up the sassy little remoulade that goes over the London broil. I love a sassy little sauce to dress up my red meat. So basically all you're going to do is puree a whole bunch of ingredients together. I got some mayonnaise, some onion, some sweet pickles, a few capers, a little mustard, tomato paste, and horseradish, a whole bunch of lemon juice. Blend this up together. Add as much lemon juice as you need to get a nice pouring consistency. Puree it until it is smooth. Give it a little taste to see how it's coming along. And adjust its taste with a little sugar, salt, and pepper. Oops. Hold it on there. Should be a nice pourable consistency when it's all done. That looks great. Just gonna clean up this mess a little bit here. So you can see that there's juices just starting to creep up on the top. So go ahead and give the London broil a little flip here. Let it cook for about another 6 minutes or so. It's always nice to pour a little bit of the marinade over the top of the meat once you've flipped it. Helps keep it moist and further infuse it with the flavor. Well, it looks and feels good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off the heat, set it on the cutting board, let it rest for a moment, turn off the grill. So while the meat rests, I'm going to go ahead and plate up the other ingredients. Start with my little saute of tasty potatoes here. Those look beautiful, nice and crispy. And now comes the broccoli. These beautiful long florets are going to go wonderfully with the roast. Now it's time to slice up the meat. So slice in about 1/2 to 1/4 inch slices and try to keep it together as you're slicing it. Your sweetie's gonna love this. The succulent steak with the zesty sauce, the tenderness of the broccoli and the crispiness of the potatoes. It's all gonna go beautifully together. So kind of pinch the ends together as you pull them off the cutting board and sort of fan out the slices of meat as you place them on the plate. Make a pretty little arrangement. Top it off with a bit of the zesty remoulade. Are you ready for dinner? Because it's ready for you and your sweetie. So look at that. You just took your sweetie out to a nice steakhouse without even leaving the house. Are they hungry yet? Pair this up with a nice dry Merlot or a Cabernet Sauvignon and call in your sweetie. Don't need this anymore. Honey.
Wow, this looks great. You look, wow. Another wonderful dinner. Let's see, I love As always, this is such a hot kitchen.
So thanks for joining me in my hot kitchen again this week. Have fun turning up the heat in your kitchen, and I'll see you next week. Night night.
Oh baby, you're too pure, you're too pure.
Pet the kitties.